created an article on LinkedIn basically talking about the main things that you should be working on when you graduate to try to secure a job. Now, everyone's like, you got to have internships, you have to have, connections, which is great. I mean, that is very, very helpful. But this is also a video for people who don't really have any resources and are starting from scratch. I'm going to be making a 4-part series. So this is the first video of the series. And this series is basically just geared to all my new grads out there. Congrats to all the 2023 grads. I was in your spot a year ago, so I definitely understand how difficult it is to get that first entry-level job, especially if you didn't already have an internship at a company where you were able to kind of like leverage that position and get a full-time position. So let's get started. So first things first, in this video, I'll be talking about resume writing tips. Get your resume out because we're gonna audit it and start from scratch. So first things first, at the top of the page, you should have your header. So that should be your name and your contact information. Some people put your address. I'm gonna say don't do that so that you're able to post it on LinkedIn. You don't want your personal information going out like that. So take that out. That is at the top of the page. So once the recruiter sees that, they're understanding this is just how they're gonna get in touch with you. And please have a professional email, please. And check it every week. Don't put an email there that you do not use often and that you will never see that email when they do send you an interview request. So the first thing that you're gonna put after that header is education. This is pretty important, especially for new grads, because this is your most recent experience. So make sure that you're putting your school's name, your degree, your graduation date. If you're somebody who's a rising junior or a rising senior, then just put your expected graduation date. So after you put all of that stuff for your degree, a lot of people put their high school stuff. Do not put your high school stuff, please. If you're not in high school, do not include anything related to high school. They do not care what clubs you were a part of in high school. They don't care that you had an advanced diploma. They don't care. It's too late. If you're not in high school getting a job in high school, then don't bother. Now, the second thing that you're gonna put is your experience. When you're thinking about your experience and what to put, some people put every single job that they've ever had. Do not do this, please. Put the things that are relevant to the job that you're actually applying to. So for instance, let's say you want to work in food service. You're going to put all of the food service jobs that you've ever had. If you're trying to get a job that's catered to your degree that you just received and you have no internship experience or anything like that, put jobs where you had a leadership role. Now, some people will say like, oh, that's not conducive. I need an internship. I need like at least a letter of recommendation, something that will show that I'm good in my field. However, there are certain qualities that your employer is looking for. So when you go to your interview, you can definitely just play off of those things and definitely talk yourself up. So right under where you're putting each job, you should be putting what you actually did in that position so that there's no confusion. It's complete clarity to your recruiter, what you were doing and how you can bring value to their team now. So basically, let's say something like, for instance, I was a trainer at Smashburger. I would say that I led my team, that helped me with my leadership qualities, something like that. Like I said, you're trying to speak about the good things about yourself. Another thing that you should be doing is looking at the job description of what you're applying to and using some of those keywords. So if they said that they're looking for amazing teamwork, put that in there. If it's like something that is focused on customer service, talk about how much experience you have in customer service. It can be the smaller parts about the job. Like I said, technical, you can always learn how to do versus like knowing how to treat people. They can't teach you how to do that. So definitely talk about how amazing you are in those different ways. I've actually had experiences with jobs where I've applied knowing that I was underqualified just so maybe I can get an interview and just be able to get information from the recruiter. So for instance, I had applied for this entry-level job at PwC and I got an interview and she literally said, at the time, they were looking for people that were in school. And at that time I was like a month away from graduation. They were looking for like rising seniors. And she basically was like, well, since we're on the phone, like, let's talk about your resume. So like maybe you can apply at a later date and your resume is better. So she gave me a lot of tips. And sometimes just putting yourself out there, you never know who will have a helping hand to bring you up. So definitely just take that shot and just see. Another thing that I did was I was reaching out to people in the finance field. Now at that time, I wanted to be a CPA, which I don't anymore, but I was like reaching out to those people, seeing if they had like internships. This is more like small businesses. So I was like saying like, okay, I can help with bookkeeping. I can help with like customer service, anything that you need, I'm willing to do. I probably reached out to, let's say 20 people, and maybe 3 or 4 people reached out back to me. There are a few people that I actually got on the phone with, and they basically were just telling me like joining certain clubs can be like a leverage, the type of certifications that I can get to put myself ahead. Definitely use networking as a tool because it definitely helps with curating your resume. There are certain certifications that a recruiter will see and they will immediately be like, okay, this is somebody who is serious. This is somebody who's taking the initiative and actually trying to get in this field versus somebody who just has like 30 clubs listed on their freaking resume. And it's like, okay, this is just fluff. You can be a part of a club and not even go to a meeting. So I think that is a lot of fluff. The only time that you should be actually adding a club on your resume is if you are in a position of leadership. So if you were like a treasurer, if you were the president, vice president, that is when you should put it, because like I said, it just shows your initiative and it shows that you're taking an extra step more than everybody else is. The whole point of your resume is to show that you are different. You're right for the role, but you're also different from other candidates and you stand out from them. So keep that in mind while you're curating your resume. Now, the third and last part of your resume should be your skills. So this is when you're putting any certification that you might have that go along with the job that you're applying to. This is, again, another part where you're talking about the skills that you have and just trying to show them that you are the best candidate. So there are certain things that they cannot teach you. Like I said, the technical you can always learn while you're there, but this is kind of just showing some of the qualities that you have and what you can bring to the team. So this is another place where you might want to talk about leadership, saying you're project focused or if you're deadline focused, talking about your organization skills, talking about maybe if you speak a different language, that is somewhere where you would put that. Now, once everything is finished, I know a lot of people, they start designing it and doing a lot of different things. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. All the other crazy designs and things that you want to add pink line here, orange line here, show your personality. That is great, but then again, leave that for the interview. Show your personality through the interview. A piece of paper is going to be in a pile. Nobody's even going to notice all the work that you put into it. Just keep it very, very simple. My last tip that I probably should have mentioned earlier is to make sure that all of the groups, like the headings of each group, are bold. It can be all capitals. It just needs to stick out compared to the rest of your resume so that they understand that each section is broken up. And you can also put a line in between each one as well. It'll make it easier for the recruiter to see what they're looking for. Like if I'm saying, okay, I want to see all your experience, I can just go to this right here. I don't have to read through a bunch of crap to figure out where it is. Like, make it easier for the recruiter to like you. Make it easier for them to just get to know what they want to know and see if you're actually the right fit. If they have to read through all the fluff, they might call you back for an interview and you're not even right for the job and they just wasted your time and their time. I'm actually going to include an outline to a resume in the description box below so that you can get an idea for those people out there who are just like, I have no idea still of what I'm going to write. They have an idea what it's supposed to look like, but not exactly what the details are going to be. Definitely take a look. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.